Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Ryan, I have cerebral palsy and I've used a walker my entire life. Today we're going to talk about why disabled people should not strive for confidence. When I was in my 20s, I ran a music venue out of my house. And every couple weeks we would have bands play and it was a lot of fun. I remember one show, I was chatting with this young woman and she says to me, "Ryan, you're really confident." And I paused for a second and I thought to myself, you have no idea how long it took me to develop confidence. And then she goes on to say, I just always tell people, just be confident, just be confident. And I thought to myself, gosh, that is literally the worst advice you can give somebody. It's almost as bad as telling somebody to just be yourself. It's like, well, how can you just be confident? Do you just flip a switch and then you're just confident all of a sudden? It just doesn't really work like that. From my perspective, there are two different types of confidence. The first type of confidence is unearned confidence. And that's stuff like looks, family connections, status, money. These are external things. Some people can derive confidence from them, but it's fragile. If you base all of your confidence around things like your looks, for example, looks fade, you get older. That's unearned confidence. These are things that can be taken away from you. The second type of confidence is earned confidence. This is the quiet confidence that you just kind of give off with your aura. You don't really have to say anything, you just give it off. And that's the real confidence. And the only way that you can develop real confidence is by developing competence first. What does it mean to develop competence? Well, it means to develop skills, to get good at stuff. That can literally be anything. Maybe you're interested in ice skating or horses, or maybe you're interested in Jell-O and you have this fascination with gelatin. It doesn't matter what you're interested in, so long as you go deeper than anybody else. A lot of people will say, fake it till you make it. The problem is when you have a disability, you can't necessarily rely on external advantages. An able-bodied person, depending on the person, can fake confidence a lot easier. It's harder to fake confidence when you have a walker. The one thing to keep in mind is that confidence is domain specific. So just because you're good at one thing doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good at something else. So you may be good at mathematics, but you may be terrible at dating. These are different domains that they're not the same thing. But the good news is that when you develop competence in one area, through one thing, you learn all things. So you sort of develop a set of metaphors that can then be applied to other domains. So for example, like with me, I have been self-employed for almost 10 years now. Another domain that I've been working on recently is jujitsu. And I've been doing jujitsu now for a few years. And the metaphors that I've learned from being self-employed and learning how to make my own money also strangely works for jujitsu as well. And I can see the parallels between those two worlds and those two domains. And what happens is when you're pretty good at 4 or 5 or 6 different things, that's a powerful place to be, because through the unique combination of your talents, you can create extraordinary things. And it doesn't really matter what your disability is, so long as you have your cognitive faculties. If you want to have real confidence, you have to develop competence first. When you develop competence in a specific domain, the byproduct is confidence.